Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new weekly tutorial, and this time I'm going to explain how to highlight the purple by layering. So I will not use any wash, I will just start with the base color, that is the blue violet. This was the base color. So I will use the color lilac, and I will use pale witch flesh, and I will start from this color. And I will start highlighting to get the next result. I will show you. So this is the other one that is already painted. Okay, so how to arrive to these highlights? Also, I have to use another color that will go to the deepest recesses. That is going to be Shreus purple, but this is going to use at the last stage. So first, here you see I will work this back, that is going to be the part more visible for this tutorial. So I will start applying the color lilac on top of this paintwork. And here, don't be concerned if the transition is very hard. So this first step is just to start painting the parts that you want to highlight. So and just to know what are the parts that have to be a lighter color. Later on we will work to make the transition softer. So as you can see, I apply the color lilac in the parts that should be hit by the light. For example, here. Okay, and just as a starting point for me to understand what are the parts that I want with highlights. Okay, I will work the full back. Sorry, this video is a little bit long, but I want to do everything on camera. In case you are interested, you can see how I do all this work. Can be a long one, but I think it's worth from time to time to show at real speed how you do the full paint job. So this is okay. So as you can see, I'm just pointing the parts that I want to highlight. The part that I want with lighter color. We'll put this thing here because this is going to be an important part of the work, and in that way you can see what I'm going to do there. But no, it's just for me to know where I want the highlights. Of course, later on we will arrive to almost white in some parts. Okay. I want something like that. Here we are going to put we are going to do the front as well. From time to time you need to water again the brush and be sure that the tip is right. You can see here I just do these vertical strokes. I will do all this. This type of technique can be quite time consuming, but I think the results that you can obtain is worth it. And with that type of colors, if you want to go to very clear colors, I find the wash is not the best way. The best way is layering. If you have a different opinion, please share it and share your way of doing. So One thing that I learned in that hobby is that there is not a single way to do the things, so there are multiple ways to reach the same result, and this is one of the great things. And sometimes you're doing so in a way that is more difficult, and then you have an open-end solution from another person. So here I just want to share, and this way is, I will say, this is my way of doing the things, and this is not the only way to paint. So, but I'm quite comfortable in the way I'm doing the things right now. So, and I think I'm in a level that I can share my experience with other painters. But I'm always open to different ways of doing. If you do some mistakes when doing this layer, don't worry. And as you can see, I went back to the base color because I realized that in some joints I did some misses, so I also correct the mistakes that I observe. As you can see, I like to water the brush quite often. The other thing I do if you see that I point out of the miniature is if I see that I have excess of paint on my brush, I just remove part of the paint. So this is the first step. Now what I will do, I will take some of this lilac, we'll put it here next to the blue purple. I will make a mixture, and I keep, as you see, I don't need completely uniform mixture, I just do an intermediate mixture. As you can see, it's very watery, so and then I will start painting in between these two colors. And I will also start using white. So for example, I will start from one area and I will start highlighting from this area to another one. So I put the white here next to here, and I will also water the white on the pot because I think it's too thick. So I take a little bit of white, I put here, for example, in that part. As you see, it's very thin, this white. It's almost the texture of a wash. Okay, and then I take here that I mix with some purple. If it's fine that is too clear, I take a little bit more. And you start working from that. Okay, I do the same, for example, here. So let's do this border of the wrinkle in white. I will go up. Okay, and then I will take the mix and I will do a little bit here. And I will take the other mix with darker color and I will put something here. Okay, If you find that the transition is still too hard, I take a little bit of more of lilac and I do a new transition in the middle. So it's all about work, and I try to keep these vertical strokes to give like a vertical shading, because first I think it simulates a little bit the fabric and give a very nice look. So this is why I do try to keep some direction in my strokes. If I go too deep like here, I will go back to the blue. I will do something like that. Again, here I will first apply a little bit of the mixture of lilac with the base color. And in that part here is where I need to start using a little bit of Chereu's purple. I will just use it on the very deep and narrow wrinkles like this one here. Okay, and I will also use it, for example, in that one here. And especially I will use it when I have this type of things. Here it will help me to make this more visible. I do it right now. You can see. So I will go back here, but this is the idea. So let's go back the part that we were working. So that part here, let's mix it with the color lilac, and I don't have this way. When I explain, I don't have a real mixture. Well, I just adapt the mixture to the need and to make the transition. And this way sometimes there are people that is saying exactly what is the mixture, how much they mix. I don't tell that because I don't know exactly what is the mixture. I just balance the mixture until I'm happy with the result. So I can tell more or less how much, but I cannot know exactly, because my idea is always try to balance the maximum possible. As you can see here, I did very dark purple, and then I will apply the base color a little bit watery, and this way. So it's important that you define well the different folds, wrinkles of the fabric of the cloth. So as you see now, what I'm doing is I'm like edge highlighting on this ones with the palette Witch Flesh. I don't use white, pure white, because I prefer to use palette Witch Flesh that is almost white, but is what I say a broken white. So it's not pure white. If you put this next to white, you will see that it's not exactly white. Have very soft purplish tonality. You can see I'm not perfect. I did a mistake here, so I will use a little bit of this one, and I will apply it here to help on the definition. This color is too thick. It's not flowing correctly. You can see I go to the next wrinkle. Okay, and then the last one here. Now we will need to work to soften the transitions in all these ones. This one can be left as it is, sorry. But here we need to, these are very sharp ones, so you can be sharper with the colors if you want. But in that part here I will increase the light purple here, for example. I will put some white on this extreme. And I will mix with a little bit of the mixture here. And here I think I need to put a little bit more of the color lilac. So what I will do is I will go from here down. I went too close to the white maybe. I will take a little bit of the mixture. I will apply a little bit here as well. Apply it back to the color lilac. Here that I went a little bit over the white, we want a well defined. So as I told you, it's time consuming. The full tutorial I try to make it in one shot of camera. I hope you find this interesting. But this type of colors are ones of the most, can be one of the most difficult to have a nice finishing and a clean finishing. For example, here I will go a little bit of with the color lilac and do this transition. So it's, you try to go zone by zone, but sometimes I go back when I did one of the new zones, is because you want to look the whole fabric the same. You want to be uniform. So this way sometimes I go back, so we can keep moving ahead here and do this fold. We'll take a little bit more of the color lilac, so it's all the time trying to balance. As you see, sometimes I don't let the paint be completely dry, and I take advantage of that to finish the mixture on the miniature directly. One thing you have to be careful is not to contaminate the sea. Sometimes that I don't clean the brush, you have to be careful that you will not contaminate the paints. here I will take a little bit more. As you see, I do my mixture here. This is drying up. So what I will do is I will add some water. It's almost like glaze now, but I think it's better. So I test it here first. Now I can take the white. When I say white, I mean palette witch flesh. So let me know if you consider these videos interesting or not. If you think that these videos can be interesting, I can do more of them when I'm doing more detailed ones, when I'm doing this type of painting. If you don't like these videos, I will stop doing them. It's just, this is a little bit of experimenting. Here I will finish at the back and I will go back to the front of the, as you can see, now it's looking much better. And this type of, to get a nice result in this type of colors is a lot of matter of passion, of being patient and being layering and then okay, this is one, and then I will go to this side. You can see first I put the white to know where I want the lightest highlight. I will add this. This will help me also to make, and I will paint a little bit here that I missed the first time, and white at the extreme. Sorry, sometimes I'm not talking, is because I'm really concentrated in trying to do a good job here. So you see, it's all the time. Sometimes it's a mixture between layering and wet blending directly on the miniature to find to arrive to soft a nice highlight. And I have to say that for this type of cloth I want to go quite extreme, from arriving to the white. If you don't want to arrive too extreme, you can stop on the color lilac, should be okay. But I'm a big fan of the extreme highlights. As you can see, I keep doing these vertical strokes. Here I have the feeling that this is too flat in that point. Now I'm starting to be happy with this bag. We'll apply a little bit more of this mixture here. The other thing I'm realizing is this blue purple is changing a little bit the tonality when it's dry and between dry and wet. So I have to wait in some areas that is completely dry to see if I did the appropriate, if I applied the appropriate tonality or not. Now what I'm trying to do is go very next to the white, to leave the white very thin. I go with the color lilac, as you can see. So I go very close to the white. Here we need a little bit of transition. Maybe something like that. It's going to be. So as you can see, I'm all the time trying to balance and check that the colors transition are as I wanted. So this is how the back is looking like right now. We can do a little bit of mixture of this deep purple with the a bit more, and we can apply this one on this deep fold here. So we can apply a little bit of this one here. And also here. And just on the deepest folds. It happened this, don't worry. Quite used to have this. As you can see, it's all the time. Try to balance, correct, make the highlights deeper or lighter. And again, you work this until you are happy with the result. First I do one side, I do the back, and then I will do the front. I will not do the front on camera. I think by doing the back you get the idea. Can put a little bit more of the dark purple and just on the center. For example, this dark purple makes sense here as well. This brush is getting bad. For example, I follow this fold here like that. This color is a little bit dry now. So, you see, I just this is looking like it's a lot of work. I understand that sometimes you don't want, and normally I will do this more on, you have to do full army. Doing like that can be quite tiring and a lot of time consuming, but I will recommend this if you do heroes or you do, depending on the miniature that you're painting, but for the most important miniatures of the army, it's worth to do that. Here, and now I'm going to do the front, but I think this is good enough. If I take the camera, you will see I hope you get the idea how I do it. Here the light is not very good, but this is how you get the right. So the light, I'm trying to find a good light. It's much bluish in camera than it is in reality, but this is a way you can do some smoother highlights. I hope you find it interesting. Please leave your comments, like if you like it, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye.